Here we are.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Ready?
Ready.
So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello.
Hello there.
Must need to introduce our guest for today, which is Jack Castle,
Hi.
who is the resident pleb at VVS.
It's not very nice.
Yeah, but we're all plebs here. In fact, actually, this guy came up with the name.
I did. Welcome to the Pleb Spec podcast.
Pleb spec. It sounds about right. Sounds fitting.
Sounds about
So
right.
it's
Sounds
car
right.
based as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that works nicely. And apparently you're plebs, I'm a pleb.
Yeah.
You're wearing the same
Must-
jumper.
Yeah, I was
Wearing-
literally going to say that. Like, we're wearing the same thing.
Jumper. I thought, do you know what? I'll come out with something different today from last time, and then I thought, great, you turn up in near enough the same spec.
I thought I'd take mine off.
We'll take yours off.
No,
Well, you
well,
are.
that's
You
why
are.
I'm
You
repping
are.
the brand, obviously.
Repping the brand.
Of course.
So, first of all, where are we?
VVS.
We are indeed. My lovely place of work, VVS.
Yes. So for those who don't know, Jack is actually a sales exec at VVS UK and one of the largest European.
Lamborghini specialist.
That's the word, isn't it?
Europe's largest Lamborghini specialist.
Why don't you take over? Why don't you sit in the middle?
I could do, but this is your podcast, so.
It's my podcast, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know, I've noticed.
Ah.
Okay.
But no, today's sort of like a bit of a discussion really about sort of, Lamborghini in general. What cars suit UK roads, and also for a bit of information for your side about what really you should be buying if you were to win the lottery or in a place where you can actually buy these cars. I'll buy that. So, shall we get started?
If you like.
Yes. So, in your opinion, you've got all these cars here, absolutely incredible collection of cars.
We do.
Which one are you taking away? You just jump straight into it.
You're going right there, so I can have any car.
Any car in this showroom right now, which you are going to keep for about a year, 18 months.
Regardless of value.
Regardless of value.
Fine. It's right behind you, might be just off camera. There's a gorgeous 458 Speciale over there.
Special. How many miles is that car?
That's done sub 500 miles.
Sub 500.
It's been PPF'd from new, stored its whole life, serviced every year, and Nart stripe, bronze wheels in the classic Ferrari colour scheme. It's gorgeous, last of the non-turbos. I can't think of anything better. I can't afford it, it's worth adding. It's currently on the market today at £420,000. But I think what a great opportunity. It's literally like new. If you have a look inside, it's like a brand new car inside. It's perfect. And you're never going to get the opportunity again.
Would you not be worried about mileage though? Because you couldn't drive it really at the end of the day.
To drive it, you'd have to suffer the loss, yeah. But if you've got enough money that it doesn't matter, then I think
It's worthwhile.
It's
not worth having fun.
exactly that. It's
Getting it
worthwhile.
out, especially on a day like today where the sun is gleaming.
Yeah, around
yeah.
VVS we've got some amazing roads, twisty roads, particularly if you take out of here and right towards London, Hawkhurst, or towards Staplehurst even. It's just a perfect car. It makes a great sound.
Yeah.
Enjoyable. It's not too sort of low to the nose. Even the nose really isn't that low if you look at it. It's not
very reasonable looking at.
compared to like the 675 next to it or the Huracan. Although nose lift and stuff is a feature, obviously, but I think it's such a great combination of usability, performance. Look at it.
It's fantastic.
It's
with the
I think
gold.
it's the prettiest of all the modern Ferraris.
I think they are genuinely the next they're 40, aren't they, at the end of the day?
I think so. Yeah, I think we're looking at that today at 420. I think, it is a collector's piece with delivery mileage, but I think it's just going to keep going. If you kept it like that, if you were disciplined enough to buy it and keep it and look after it and service it with Ferrari, it's just going to keep going. Yeah, I think that's a great investment.
I don't think you'd, even saying coming back to the mileage, even if you did drive it quite a bit, I don't think you'd still worry about
we're still
mileage.
looking at them. Yeah, we're still looking at them in the high 300s with mileage.
As well. And that means you can go out. It's one of those cars you can buy quite safely, knowing that you can go and use it, go and enjoy it, and then when you want to sell it, still get near enough all your money back again.
Precisely that.
I knew that was going to happen. So,
Special guest
Harrison has decided to grab all of the keys to the Dodge. Is it a Dodge?
It is a Dodge.
It is a Dodge next to us.
800 horsepower Dodge.
That's a Demon as well.
It is a Demon.
Dodge Demon.
With a red key, like his red face.
Harrison!
You know what we need to do?
Thank you.
Get him on camera.
Yep, you're coming on camera now, come on.
I assume you do editing.
No, this is staying in.
Oh, this is going in.
This is staying in. Yeah.
You can appreciate the noise it makes. It's
To
still
be
a good
fair,
sound.
yeah.
American V8.
That's a great example of what wicked cars we have here at VVS.
Yes, where you can start it by the key, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like an American. I think it's a standard in the States. You have to have remote start available on the key.
Really? Why is
Yeah,
that?
I'm not sure why, but it's the same as the boot release for Murderers.
Yeah, I've seen that in a few cars.
Yes, that's becoming well because they build cars internationally.
Are you sure it's not because of like coming here, like you put small children and stuff in here, sort of? Especially me. I mean, I often end up finding
Getting
myself
demonetised,
Yeah. Who cares?
Fair comment. Yeah, it's. I think it's a cool feature, and I would do that constantly if that was mine.
Yeah.
It means
Find the life out of people.
Exactly, and it'd be even more funny when people walk past and go, there's still no one in it, it's just started up.
Yeah.
This is one of my It's the problem with my job is that every time you turn a car on, start a car, you just fall in love with it. I.e., that I think it would be a nightmare to drive around here because look at the size of it.
I was going to say that.
When you put it on the point where we take our photographs, it's about the same size as a Dawn or a Wraith.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it looks at it, but it looks at when you have it on its own, it looks out of place. But when you park it next to like that 991, which it looks diddy, doesn't
The
it?
Porsche looks tiny.
Porsche looks tiny.
It does,
Yeah.
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 And it's left-hand drive, and it's 800 horsepower.
Yeah.
It's rear-wheel drive.
It's an import though, isn't it?
It is a US import, yeah.
Yeah, of course
they were
it is.
only available as imports. They never sold those in the UK.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Now, isn't it?
So and they're actually quite cheap if you take them in the States. But by the
How
time
much
you
is
get
this
it,
one?
that's up at it was 105, including the VAT.
Wow. It's a lot of car for your money.
It is, and like
Massive.
it's 6,000 miles, I think, on the clock,
Yeah.
and
That's
lovely
not bad.
condition. And it's ready for the UK spec. So, as part of the UK MOT, you have to have side repeaters that are available from 160, 180 degrees, which obviously US cars don't have. I.e., like your little indicators down here on this one. So they've adapted the US driving light on that, but that's a bit of a pain that can happen to those cars because they're on all the time in the States in the front, in the corners.
Yeah, of
But
course.
that's been modified to be an indicator, so it will pass an MOT because it has passed an MOT. Available now.
Come and buy it.
Get that plug. Get that plug.
Jesse at
Absolutely
VVS. Anyway, before we were rudely interrupted.
Yeah, special then.
Special, definitely. What would you have?
What would I have?
What are you picking out of here? Budget and depreciation irrelevant. I think that's an important part of it.
I think either one of the GT3. Oh no! You got the what's the thing in the corner?
The Mosler.
The Mosler.
That's
It
a very special car.
absolutely
I've never seen
mental
one of
feel.
Yeah, I'm sad enough that when that arrived, I knew what that was. It's basically a homologation car for British Touring, or not British Touring, British GT Championship.
Yeah.
There's 20 in S specs. It's an MT 900S. There's LS1 in the back, full raw carbon manual gearbox. It's a Porsche gearbox, in fact.
Oh, that's
why it's got a
gear
Porsche
shift
stick
stuff.
on top. Yeah, it's
Yes.
kind of a patchwork of cars that they had to make for the.
Make it really
But
your-
it's
It looks massive,
It's-
and
it
it's
does.
also surprisingly light. I believe it's under a ton.
It's under a ton.
Yeah.
Well, that also helps with the monocoque being carbon
Yes,
fibre.
of course, the whole thing's cars.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I
mental.
haven't
I
driven it.
Looked at it, was like, what on earth is that thing? It just looks like a.
It looks £1 million as well, doesn't it?
It looks like a
It's not.
F1 V's Noble V's like
It's almost it's not GT1, but it is GT1 style, isn't it?
yeah, of course. It's like a proper, almost like Le Mans style.
It's a lovely thing to
90
have.
Le Mans.
Yeah, so we're just we're helping transit it. What's the word? Transport it. It's going to Australia.
Shocking.
It's going to Australia. So
Yeah.
we're kind of storing it for the time being while that's going through. But what a lovely thing to have
Absolutely.
at the showroom.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of kit. What about you? What are you picking?
Yeah, what are you having?
It's going to be the 458.
Should we share it?
The 458.
I think, yeah, we'd have to go and share with that one. I've always been a fan of the 458, even just the regular version as well.
Yeah.
So I've always think, out of all the Ferraris that they've done, it's the one that's always just looked the best.
It's so striking, especially compared to the 430 that it replaced.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
absolutely.
It's
I think the
a big
430 is a pretty car, but it took such a leap forward,
leap
didn't
forward
it?
in technology, in the way it
100%.
looks, the way
Like
it
dual
drove, dual clutch with better gearbox by that time, get rid of that lovely F1 gearbox that they used to fit.
But like the 488 is pretty, the F8 is pretty, but I think they were just, for me, they're always just trying to be that 458. They're both incredible, and obviously technologically they've all moved on dramatically. We've got an F8 just over there, and we have had 488s recently, and they are quite dramatically different with performance.
Yeah.
But
It's only just recently where they've had that gap with the new car, the new Ferrari, the V6.
precisely the 296.
Yeah, 296.
That's I mean, yeah, performance-wise incredible, but I think you're never going to get the full capacity out of a car like that.
No,
I
of
mean,
course.
you're never going to get the full capacity out of that either, but
Well,
That one
you
you're
say
going to
that.
get more.
well, you would obviously because
Ah,
you're an
yeah,
incredible
foot
driver.
straight to the floor, absolute pleb.
Sure.
I
Pleb's
don't know,
back.
when you're driving sometimes.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I've experienced that.
I've seen you driving sometimes.
I'm more concerned with the way the car wobbles around in his MX-5. Dangerous car.
God, let's not go there.
It's not.
What is it with you telling me about the MX-5?
It's dreadful.
It's not dreadful.
We know your one is dreadful.
Yeah.
The car,
Oh, yeah, of
MX-5,
course.
I'm sure your viewers will agree, it's a great car.
But it's just your one. It's
Just your one
terrible.
feels broken, and I haven't even driven it, I was just a passenger. You hit the brakes and it sort of went... Like,
Yeah, but it's soft suspension.
I don't think it's quite
MX-5's
suspension. but-
traditionally soft suspension.
Maybe it's rust.
Yeah. More
Lighter than carbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rust is
Actually,
lighter than carbon. Exactly.
Yeah. You can't say anything. You're driving around in a stupid Skoda.
Well, at least mine.
Whether-
Hey,
whether like-
that's simply clever.
How is it
It's
clever?
simply clever.
It's the advert. Come on, son.
Oh, I thought you're supposed to be a motor journalist and all that.
I'm not a motoring journalist. I'm just an absolute pleb. I don't know why I've got the camera here. Like all the people are sitting there having lunch, all the, you know.
Yeah, I'm
sounds
missing out
of-
on my lunch for this.
I know.
That's not really.
I do apologise.
That's no, I'm quite
But you're
happy to do it.
actually,
Yeah.
you're actually starting the show, and you're actually performing, as in like giving off a lot more information.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I spend a lot of time listening and watching podcasts.
Oh.
So,
It's got the gist for it.
yeah,
You know
I've
what
got
you're
the
doing.
gist for it. Exactly. Got any more
Yes.
questions for me?
More questions.
We'll sit back.
Do you want to sit here with me?
No, you're right. You're good. So I'm currently your guest. I'll be your host at some point, but
You'll be the host, yeah? You're taking
yeah,
over?
Yeah. Pleb Spec, my podcast. Coming soon.
Oh, I see how it is.
Got competition.
So you both went for the Special, then?
Yeah. 100%.
Is that, would you say, the best road car for the UK, as in supercar? Because let's be honest, supercars, I mean, look at the event. I mean, we've got Aventadors, we've got Murcielagos behind us. They are absolutely massive on the road. And if, especially
They
with
are.
UK roads, you'd be absolutely terrified to drive.
Now, when you say best super, as in like to not daily, but to use regularly, or only for special occasions?
Special occasions, but obviously like to use, because I feel like you want to consider damper control and stuff like that.
Okay.
For the cars. Because let's be honest, the UK roads lately have been absolutely
Dreadful.
horrendous.
Particularly around here, we're in the southeast of England, and yeah, they are awful. It's just a case of there's bits of road missing everywhere.
Do you know what? I
think
get
since
confused
Potholes,
between...
punches, it's dreadful.
I get confused between the UK roads and the surface of the moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was gonna say,
Particularly
it's
on
probably
my,
actually smooth
my
like
route
that.
home, it's just dodging potholes
Yeah.
constantly. It's dreadful.
Absolutely.
Which in that would be terrifying, because you're going to go through a wheel or a tyre, aren't you? But then if you're going to have something with handling and performance,
At least you'd be able to swerve around.
Yeah.
hopefully.
well, you should be able to swerve around it, but you're always going to compromise a little bit. But I can't help but feel a probably better alternative would be what we're looking at there and is off camera.
Porsche
A
GT3.
991 Dot 2 GT3,
See, that's the thing.
full
like,
club sport, in gold red.
I know we're at a Lambo dealership, but at the end of the day,
Few Porsches.
there's a reason why there are so many Porsches
Porsches
at
out
car
there
meets
now.
and stuff now,
Correct.
car drives. Because they are just the all-round package. I know everyone goes on about it, sort of. You know,
Everyone does bang on about it, and I used to hate it when people banged on about it, because in your head you think, oh, no, what, you, they're boring, you want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
Yeah,
How now, having spent best part of 8 months with VVS and driving lots of these things, a luxury part of my job,
Yeah.
Porsche 911.
Yeah.
I drove that lovely 997 GT3 we had, and incredible.
And it was like when I was talking to Porsche a little while ago, people always go, well, every new one that comes out, it's never really much different. But it's the same old, why change the recipe when you know it works?
Yeah, and to be fair, I wasn't a big fan of the way the 992 looked until I've driven a few,
Yes.
and they're incredible.
Oh,
It's
they're
an
the
absolute
next
weapon.
level up.
These are amazing, and my heart lives very strongly, particularly with Mercies.
Oh, you like a
I
Mercy? Yeah.
love a Mercy,
Yeah.
yeah, really do. I think great time to buy one too, but we'll come on to
Yeah.
that. But I think if you want to enjoy something daily, not knacker its value too much, and just have a good time, I think a 911, and you've got so much variety. I
Yeah.
think you could go Turbo S, you could do GT3, or there's a fantastic, even the GTS spec that's next to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was having a look.
Nowhere near as fast, but perfectly fast enough.
And that's what you could daily that more as well.
You could daily that.
Yes.
It sounds the part available as obviously Carrera 4,
Yeah.
four-wheel drive that one, and considerably less. I believe we got that up at 80 or 90,000 pounds. It's
That's
you
the
know,
thing.
it's-
Like, there's a Porsche for everyone, really. And as long as
there
you've got
really
money.
is. Yeah,
But-
even if you just wanted a standard Carrera, it's
Yeah.
still a great car.
Even my friend's got a standard Carrera. I think it's just a 4S.
I might get a
It's
Boxster.
just,
Yeah,
do you know
Boxsters,
what? Boxster's
Caymans,
actually very
yeah.
good.
again, good value. As long as you can put up with the maintenance and you buy a nice one, because a lot of them will
Oh,
have been,
no.
as they get cheaper, we don't do maintenance too, but as they get cheaper, they fall into the hands of people who have them for 5-6 months and then move them on and they book out. And that's where particularly you can get some really ratty 996s. But if you don't mind a project, you can get some really ratty 996s. But there's two sides to that conversation.
But I don't know how to
Don't worry about it.
change a spark plug.
Yeah, I've noticed.
It's probably best you probably leave them.
Probably. Well, that's the engine. You can't. The engine's not even in the front.
No.
Someone's nicked it.
What do you mean someone's nicked it?
Well, it's not in the front, is it? If you
Yeah,
look.
but the engine's always in the front.
Well, yeah, obviously, but that one's gone. You have to pedal that.
Oh, so it's pedal power. So it's good for the environment.
Great for the environment.
Greta would love that one.
Really?
It's a Greta Thunberg.
Oh, I think that's
approved.
why everyone drives a Porsche.
Greta spec.
Greta spec.
Yeah.
Very grateful for that.
That could be the ecological side of your podcast. That's Pleb spec. Greta spec.
We're doing our bit for environment.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Small
doing a
but
bit.
mighty.
In a area with multi-million-pound V12 gas gasoline vehicles.
Used for enjoyment.
Just enjoyment.
Just enjoyment.
So how do you feel, actually? Obviously, you're a salesman now.
I am indeed.
Obviously,
Now.
you've come from the absolute pleb side of, like, going from the absolute mongs of, like, chav meets and stuff. Going
Yes.
to the exotic.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I've gone from selling Nissans to selling Lamborghinis.
Did you ever drive a BMW?
Have I ever driven a BMW?
Yes, a
I
BMW.
have driven a BMW before. Yeah. I haven't owned one.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We must not mention much about BMW. Otherwise, we will have police turn up like last
Yes,
time.
every time we mention them, they always turn up.
Yes.
Is it like Beetlejuice where you can't say Beetlejuice more than...
Absolutely, yes. The
Right,
police
okay.
generally do turn up, so we've got to
Right.
be careful with that.
BMW?
BMW.
BMW, that's different. No, I haven't. I've driven plenty, not, mixed bag. We've got an M4 here, for example. That's quite nice. Quite a good value. But
I say they're getting cheap now. M4s.
they are getting cheap. Equally, you've got to be careful with those because they're falling into the wrong
Starts getting a
hands.
bit
That's
messy,
a bit like old Range Rovers and things. Yeah.
It's a bit like Mustang, though, isn't it?
Not quite that. When I say falling into the wrong hands cheap, I'm talking like
Oh, yeah, the
like
Dodge.
$5-6 grand cars that you can pick up
Yeah.
that
Oh,
look
really?
appealing.
But
Yes.
underneath and mechanically
Yeah.
they
Well, obviously
are.
not M cars, but you can get some. You have to watch out for that.
How much is one out there?
The one we sold up there, that went for I think 36,
Wow,
That's not bad.
which is a lot of car for the money.
it is.
Quite tunable.
But then you get E92 M3, and then
E92 and 3 would be a great car.
yeah, I love the E92.
We wouldn't go down to 46 though.
You do. That's the go. Have you seen our 1M coupe go out the back?
I haven't
Oh,
A lovely
yeah,
1M
1M.
coupe. Last of the real M cars, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Before
I thought we weren't allowed to talk about BMW.
yeah, somehow we've managed to slip over to it a little bit.
I know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
We're going to
run that
mention
in.
the word chav, wasn't it? And then
Ah,
obviously
yes.
Ah, that's how it's
right.
gone that
You-
way. Ah.
offending the other side of the car.
The live studio audience.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's the whole point of it, really. Just
Exactly.
chat about cars
Yeah,
and
great.
upset a load of the audience.
Yeah, but no, it's, I much prefer being in the exotic world.
Yeah.
Although I have a soft spot for stupid cars and cheap cars and
Nissan
rubbish
Cube.
cars. Nissan Cube, love Nissan Cube, great car.
Are you well?
Yes. Oh well, no. Depends who you
say.
ask.
Are you well?
Yes, I do like a
Do you even
modified
know
Nissan
what a
Cube.
Nissan Cube
I
is?
do know
Obviously,
what-
you come from the German side of things, sort of very serious and stuff.
Very serious and all
You're
that.
very
yeah.
serious. I mean, you didn't even know where you were last podcast.
No.
No, exactly.
This I do know what a Nissan Cube is. A very tastefully styled
Hot point.
car.
You're
Yes.
being careful now, aren't you?
I'm
I don't
telling
care.
you-
You can offend me because I'm aware it's weird, but
It's
I
a-
love the Nissan Cube.
Okay.
Even before I worked for Nissan,
Is
I
it
liked the
still
Nissan
like
Cube.
them
Is
before
it
that.
basically like the JC Sandero and James May?
No, it's a box. It's a fridge.
It's a
It's a
fridge.
fridge.
It looks like a fridge.
But it's not that cool, though.
Even the back opens like, oh, that's
Do you
a fridge.
think you've got fridge as the Nissan Cube?
Yeah.
And I think the new ID3s look like a toaster.
Well, do you know there is a class of car referred to as toaster cars,
Is that
which is like Cube, and there's the Toyota of similar.
How do we
okay,
get
that's
onto
similar
this?
I know. Yeah, should we wheel up into sport cars? I appreciate that is my pawn shop, but also you get to touch and play with this stuff all day.
as well? Gets to play
Touch
with
and
real
play.
toys.
You just touch and blue see if there's a ventilators, as you do.
Yeah, because I get to because it's part of my job.
What's your thoughts on the new car?
I need to see it.
Revuelto.
Revuelto, I need to see it. I have yet to see one.
Same comment as me.
Didn't realise that there was a show on at Silverstone that was going to be massive.
Did
Which
you
it-
not? I knew that
Well,
was
we
on.
knew it was on, but we didn't realise quite to what scale it was going to be on.
Massive.
Hence why Harrison went to Brooklands instead.
Yes. Unfortunately, I failed miserably.
So
in, seeing
I
that.
need to see it, but I think I don't know. I will always I have a preference of the older. It's always to look back at the old ones because for me, I would take a Mercy over an Aventador, even though they sort of like these two are
Yeah,
give
you
or take
see,
the same price.
For me, it's the Aventador because obviously, like
Okay.
first getting into cars, it was the first supercar I went out in. And the
Okay,
first
so that's
supercar
an
driven.
important soft spot. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get,
First-
which I
yeah.
get. But for me, I was so impressed by when you drive a Mercy. You'd expect it because it's the kind of older generation. It isn't pre-Audi, but it's that era of when Audi weren't so involved. It's so well put together.
What's your favourite generation?
VT, like that orange manual we had,
Oh, the original.
with the squared off bumper.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty. But then even these 640s are great. There's,
Yeah.
I'd be happy with any of the above.
Yeah.
SVs are great, but they're so much money.
Yeah.
They're probably
We've got two behind us.
There's one there as
One
well.
of them sold. Oh yeah, we've got 3 in it. That's
And there's one out the back.
mental.
There's 4 hits there.
There's 4 here. I thought there was only 3 here.
There's 4. That's been here earning some work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do like the colour of the blue one though, SVJ.
The SVJ is very
Blue
impressive.
Leaf. Have you heard it start up yet?
I've seen clips of it.
It's got
It
a full
is-
Brook racing exhaust
It's
decal.
absolutely stupid. It started up today and it upset its neighbour and set the
Oh,
car
it'll set
alarm.
alarms off. Yeah.
It always
So it's
literally sets-
decat straight through Brook, which is Brook racing exhaust. So it's rolled in canals. It's super thin, lightweight metal. Can handle the heat. Resonates like crazy.
It's actually stupid.
So this was fairly fruity.
That was
that.
Oh,
that
that's
was
silent.
quiet.
That was like a pussycat. That's
Yeah,
like
literally.
a lion.
Well, they were moving stuff around earlier, I think, for you, and I was over the other side of the site, and I could hear that ticking over
Wow.
through
Yeah,
all
it's
these
stupid.
walls. Oh yeah,
Absolutely stupid of how loud it is.
exactly. But it's fun.
Exactly. Something a little bit different.
But yeah, I think the first supercar you go in is a soft spot for you.
Yeah.
It always will be. The
Yeah.
first Lambo I drove was a Huracan, and I will always love that Huracan.
Do you think, here's a question, you said they're both the same. Is Audi R8 and Huracan the same car to drive?
No,
I told you.
similar,
Similar.
but not the same.
I said, I told you this.
It's probably a
You
little
did
bit
similar,
more. It's probably a
so-
little
You
bit
just
more.
take the mic.
Similar to the Audi RSQ8 and the Urus.
Yes.
Similar cars,
Oh, really?
shared development, different
Yeah.
drive. We've got a customer who bought one, had an RSQ8, and then bought an Urus and drove them back to back. And that was his first comment. He was surprised how much different
Yeah,
and how much
makes
more
sense.
positive the Urus is to drive.
It'd be interesting to see how the Porsche, the Cayenne GTS.
Yes, not had a go in one of those. I
Oh,
have
no.
I have an odd opinion of cars like that. That I kind of, the part of my brain that likes things that I like cars that are fast that shouldn't be. Hence why I had a Volvo Estate with a 5-pot in it. Hence why I like the Abarths, because they're just a bit stupid.
They're hilarious here, Baths.
But then I think, why you kind of start with the wrong car by making something tall that's fast.
Yeah.
And then I drove our GLC 63S that we've got here.
Yeah.
It's a weapon.
Weapon.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's a
Does
bit.
it corner?
Yes, and that's what's. But it's a bit soulless because it's almost too good.
Oh, yeah, we don't like that. We don't
It's,
like that.
it's, but you can't take away from how impressive it is to drive.
Yes.
It's an incredible piece of kit and available for sale today.
There we go. Someone's
Another
interested.
plug. I don't know, you like quite boring cars, though, don't you? Don't you?
I like
a bit
what?
boring.
No, I was sort of, well, no.
Well, you
Was
had
that-
an E92 for a little... No, you didn't. You had an
E46.
You
E46.
swear you're about to swear again.
Yeah, you are swearing.
They're going to show up for you.
I can already hear the sirens on the way. Yeah, well, I did have an E46 M3, and I only drove it twice because it
Disappeared.
was such a nightmare. Because every time I turned it on, it just kept breaking.
But was that the M3's fault, or was it the fact that that M3 wasn't very good?
He spent too much money on it and should have bought an E92.
That sounds more realistic.
That's probably what went wrong. Yeah, I thought I'm going to go old school because it looks better, and that straight six with you know the red line up to 8,000 RPM.
How long ago did you have that car?
About a year.
About a year now.
It was literally a year,
How much did you buy it for?
I paid 16 and a half,
How much did you sell it for?
10.
Should have kept it. I think that's a great, if you're talking investment opportunities,
And if
a nice E46
CSL,
M3.
though, sure.
CSL's too late, it's done its nuts.
yes, yeah,
It'll keep going, don't get me wrong. I think a tidy one is, even a slightly ratty one is 80, 90 grand now.
Still,
Yeah.
There's only a handful on the market, but I think if you can look at the trajectory, like look where E30 went, look where E36 has gone, E46 is going to do the same thing.
When are the F80s going to go? Do you reckon? About 5 years' time? 10 years' time?
I don't think they're going to go as well because the trouble with the F80 is it.
Driven by Mustang owners.
Well, yeah,
When we
and
crash.
crowd control and all that. I think the trouble with the F80s are because it's so modern and that now. Unlike the older ones where it's just a pure
It's
machine.
that, yeah, I think
so
it's
funky.
electrical faults on cars like that will be the rust of the
Rust.
future.
Yeah,
You'll
And,
see that. You'll see. So we're like when our generation bought an old car, 20 years old.
MX-5.
Yeah.
It's rusty.
Yeah.
Modern cars aren't or less likely to suffer from that. But I think if you push forward, they're so electrically monocoiled now, which is good partly for safety emissions, blah blah blah.
Oh, wow.
But when that all starts going bandy, and the
Then
stuff that they use to fix it is outdated, like it's not the same. But imagine, let's say that a Mercy, to run the ECU or to check it, you had to use like a VHS tape.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the way I think about it. Like an OBD port in the future might be different. It might. Are we still going to have the technology to fix it? And is it going to cost so much to do that that would begin to write the cars off?
Will they then roll into, like we were saying earlier, like the Porsches, the boxes and the Caymans?
They'll end up in the hands of cowboys that just.
Like you.
I'll drive it.
You'll probably end up with an M4 convertible before we know it.
You probably will with a Vanox issue and
Absolutely not. I'm back again.
You're back.
What happened there? That's because you not see a flash.
Oh no, I did not see.
Oh, there we go.
Oh
There we
no.
go.
Oh no.
Luckily, the motor trade is full of jokers.
Yes.
Honestly.
So if you are one, I'd recommend it.
What? Get one of them and starting up randomly when people are doing podcasts.
It's quite a niche situation, that.
It's
isn't
very
it?
niche,
I've
but
never
we
done a
always find
podcast
out-
in this showroom before.
Yeah. I mean, we always end up in niche situations.
We
here,
do
don't we?
actually. Like you say, our very first from council, so yeah, Alexander me.
Yeah.
A very good
Had
one.
random people turning up and
Yeah.
police turning up.
Turning up, yes.
Please. What's your favourite car you've ever sold?
That's a good one.
I think you're looking at it down the end there.
The Mercy SV.
Yeah, I'm kind of like an old broken record, aren't I? So the white Mercy SV.
Yeah, but Harrison likes the Mercy SV.
It was so
He's a bit
special.
jealous he's not in the amongst all the Mercy SV.
It's
hence why
so
he's got the car.
special. Either that, or I'm in the process at the moment of doing a deal with the V600.
Ooh.
So that's currently up at Aston Martin Works having an inspection. In fact, it should be done today.
Nice.
Because that's, for those who don't know, at one point the world's most powerful car. Twin supercharged, enormous, big Aston, pre-Ford, pre-Mercedes, just a proper Aston Martin. It's an absolute brute. Big chubby tyres, it looks the business. It was parked there when I first started at VVS, and I fell in love with it because I was like, that is like, you just don't see them anymore.
You never. I
one
saw that one, and then I saw one literally a couple of weeks later, and that's it. That's all
Yeah,
I've
they're
seen.
not out there. I think they might have one over at Nicholas Mee, that's probably about it.
Was there one at Nicholas Mee?
They've got one advertised, I don't know if it's still available or not. But,
Maybe.
but yes, that was a recent favourite. That's the thing with this job, you sell such a range, although we are primarily a Lamborghini specialist, we do very well with Porsche, we do very well with Ferrari.
Yeah.
We've got a collection of oddities like the Mosler, and the McLarens do well for us too, and it's just everything's exciting. Everything's exciting.
Test it all and see and actually go. I've always wanted to see that and then go, right, okay, now I've seen it and driven it a little bit. You're like, now I understand it. Whatever.
Absolutely,
Why
it sounds soppy, but it's a privilege to get to do it. You know.
Oh, of course it is.
This is the boyhood dream, really, isn't it, for most people? And you do get comfortable in it some days and think, actually,
That's the thing. Like, obviously, we're super jaded in the fact that we've been around these cars all the time, and obviously, Reece, you're not really been around these.
I'm sort of been more around, like say, where
The
I'm still more in the normal, average sort of bread and butter kind of cars at the moment.
So here's a question for you: if you could take anything out of the showroom to go pop down the shop to get some milk or
an
hour drive.
You've got a 1 hour drive locally in one of these cars.
We've got one.
What are you taking? Which isn't the GT3 and it isn't the Speciale.
Actually, I think what we were saying about earlier, it's probably going to be the GTS because it's more of that all-round car that does it all.
Also, if you've not driven many supercars, that's a good step in.
Yes.
Because if you're used to driving run-of-the-mill cars and you hop into that, that's a big step
that was
forward.
the first automatic car I've driven.
Oh my god! Well, yeah, and you're probably not going to get much out of it because it's going to feel very different to what you've driven before. The way the gearbox goes, the way the windscreen is, it's big. You're going to spend most of the time going, oh, I can't.
You've almost got to readjust.
It's probably going to be the last 5 minutes that you're really going to enjoy it. Whereas that, you might spend 10 minutes getting used to it,
and you're
then
off. Yeah,
and then enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay. He is a very good driver though.
Okay.
He's a very good driver.
Even though he's got Skoda.
Yeah.
I mean, the Skoda's only temporary, so the Golf is fixed.
I mean,
Golf. Skoda and
6
Golf.
of one, half dozen the other, but sure.
They're both the same car, aren't they? Just a
Near
bit
enough,
longer.
similar.
Yeah.
So you've gone for the most boring car here, basically.
No,
I'm going to
I
disagree with
haven't
that.
gone for the
What do you mean? What's the most boring car in here then?
We don't sell boring cars, Sam. At
Oh,
VVS.
yeah.
We don't sell boring cars.
Here at VVS, they don't sell any boring cars.
Diesel Range Rovers. We don't sell boring cars. Diesel Range Rovers. Don't like them.
Don't want those.
They're very comfortable.
Haven't you
but
got one?
They break a lot.
Do I own one? No.
No, as in, not
There's,
own one.
there's one for sale.
There's one for sale.
There is. And if it's your sort of car, it's your sort of car. That's
Yeah, of
not my
course, but
sort
let's
of
be
car.
honest, a Range Rover sort of like, you're going to have that
I
as
don't-
your daily one of these.
I don't have a preference personally for big, tall cars in general. If you need a big car, you get an estate car. Personally. But if someone wants to buy it, it's a great car.
An estate car. An estate RS. Not sure I've got.
So RS, you're going to get an RS6 then?
Do you know what? I saw one the other day in blue, and it was in a really like it had the chrome pack on it, and I actually thought that actually looked really nice. It was one of the older RS6s. I thought, actually, that does look really good. It just looks, the time, aggressive.
Yeah.
I think the newer one is alright, but I think it's lost some of its character with the way it looks.
Yeah, it sort of blends in. It's a bit like the RS5 as well. Like the new RS5, they just blend into like normal.
Well, isn't the new S4 a diesel as well?
Yes,
The what, sorry?
it is.
The new Audi S4 Avant is a diesel.
Diesel, yeah.
With two fake exhaust
If,
pipes.
as I say, if you look, the two
And you can see it's got two blacked off exhaust pipes, which I don't understand.
No.
Just don't have exhaust pipes there, that's fine.
At that point, you might as well just call it.
It's
an
really
S5.
weird. It's a really weird thing that new manufacturer. I'm sure there's a reason,
But
but
just get rid
Oh,
of
it's
the
just
last of that
terrifying.
diesel.
It's probably because they couldn't get the new engine. Surely.
just two blanked off exhaust pipes.
Yeah.
Just looks pony.
Yeah, but why would you have a diesel?
Well, that's a whole
S3.
other.
Yeah, but it goes back to sort of like where we are right now in terms of like VVS is sort of like, you know, these are big, these are the biggest engines on the planet basically, aren't they?
Effectively,
At the
yeah.
end of the day, I mean,
A row of 6.5s behind you.
yeah. I mean, how many, we've got so many V12s, V10s, we've got every concoction.
We
of-
pretty much do, yeah.
Yeah, if you think about it, we've got a 4-pot from the
We
Type
do.
R in the Area Latin,
Yeah.
which is hilarious. I would
And
love to
a couple of
experience.
Abarths as well.
You got a couple
Yeah,
of
a
baths.
couple of baths.
They are very underrated. Have you? Well, I say that not really, but have you experienced in a bath?
Do you know what? I haven't. I've only seen them on drives and that.
I
But
think we
they're
need to
great.
try and get
I've
you
owned
out.
two. They're fantastic.
Hilarious.
Fantastic car.
In terms of hot hatch, you can forget about your Golf because it's boring as hell. It's a bit like, you know,
and it's not here today.
well, no.
I would say if you're a young person in the market for a reasonably quick, reasonably good to insure car, and a Bath 500, even a standard 140 brake,
And you don't like hanging around McDonald's car parks.
is a good way to start.
Yes.
I bought one of those when I was 19. Insurance was not mental. It was 16 grand new. I did it on finance. You can pick up a used one now for. My mate just bought a fairly nice one for 6 grand.
Exactly.
Yes, it needed a bit of work, but I think it's just a great little toy.
Yeah.
And then I ended up spending a fortune on one with 230 odd brake, and
Nice.
but they're very tunable. There's loads of companies locally. The community's massive.
That you get.
And
I
local.
mean,
It's one of the best car owners communities I've been a part of. Right.
Absolutely.
And we sell them here at VVS. So
yeah. Didn't you guys do a? It was before your time, obviously being here, but VVS actually done a special edition, one of 5.
we did a bit
That's
like Challenge the
brilliant.
Roads Aston Martins.
Oh,
we
yes.
tried to do one, but we spent quite a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
And putting like a Lamborghini style interior in it,
But
spending
they were
money with
super
JFA. But yes, I like completely changed the handling setup. And yeah, we
It's a
we
shame
sold
they've
it in the end.
disappeared. Because they just disappeared off the face of the earth, sort of.
Well, no,
Feels like,
they kind of, I don't know, I think they tried to sing it out for too long. As in new specs, new additions, new versions. So I bought a top spec one in 2015. I spent 22 grand. And that was the big engine, the nice seats, the upgraded sab belts with the tan leather.
This isn't the VVS special edition, it's
No.
a normal one.
This
Isn't
was
it?
just this was a factory spec car in
Yes.
2015, and it was 21,990 I think I paid for it.
Yeah.
Now, or when I say now, 2 or 3 years ago when I last looked, an equivalent top spec of Bath was nearly 35 grand. And it, as much as I love it, you've got to think at 35 grand, what am I buying?
And the other
GR
thing-
Yaris.
A GR
Exactly.
precisely
That's
that.
the thing.
If I was now in the market for an Abarth like I was then, I'd have that GR Yaris all day long.
Yeah.
And the GR will hold its money.
Or a nice used one from VVS.
I don't think they will,
don't-
because there's so many of them on the you know, you drive around now, there's always a GR Yaris.
It is, but I think the trouble, like
There's a
I say-
reason for that.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
It's
it's
good.
a fantastic car.
They are fantastic, I'm not disputing that, but the fact is that they're not going to hold their money because there's so many of them.
I think.
Focus RS is kind of like stabilised now in terms of like, they're paying around 26 grand now, aren't they?
Yeah, give or take. But I think in terms of a car that's going to last the time, irrelevant of value, I think that the GR Yaris is far better engineered.
I don't know, I just prefer my
It comes
RS5.
down to that sort of thing, although, yeah, okay, it's a Toyota, but Toyota's known as a much more reliable brand than what Abarth is. That's why you
yeah,
look
I guess
you look at
so.
a brand new Abarth that's come out of the showroom to a Toyota Yaris that's come out of the showroom. The Abarth has depreciated so much.
Well, I think they are overpriced for what they are.
And they
Yeah, of
are,
course they
yeah,
are.
Hence why you
Ford
buy a
KS.
second-hand one from VVS.
exactly.
This
Which I'm
guy's
sure,
plugging.
even if you haven't got one, I'm sure you'd be able to probably even source
We
one.
have one in stock today that is adrenaline green, Sabo interior.
He knows it all.
I know, I'm really
He
sad.
knows it all.
How
It
much
sounds
is
the
that?
nuts. I believe it's 18,995.
Do you know
something to that
what?
effect.
I think you should
Call
sell
me.
your Golf and your stupid Seat, whatever the Seat Skoda, one of the things. I
Once
think
we're
we
done
should
here,
do
I'll show it to you because
Maybe.
it's
that. I think
wild.
we should. I think we should.
It's a fun
Because they
to
are
show this.
hilarious fun.
Do you know what? I'd like to see it. Actually,
It's had
'cause
some
it sounds
modifications. It makes all the noises. It's great.
Is it got a bomber dome on it?
I believe it is bomb. No, tell a lie.
Oh.
It's a Series 4 Monza, which has the electronic valve, which doesn't get stuck like the old one does.
Right, okay.
But I think it might have a sports cap.
So Bombardone is basically like a straight back box, which is basically straight.
Bombardone, but that's fine. Bombardone.
I don't know, I hang around. Like, whenever I go places like Essex, are always there.
It's
Whenever
a
I go,
Magnetti Marelli Bombardone.
There we go.
Carbonara.
whatever he said.
There we go, very good. Italian.
Very good, very nice.
I know.
Do you know you're Italian?
I'm Italian.
No. You are Italian?
Right. I think I won't get involved. I'm the guest.
I think we should wrap it up.
Shall we?
Shall we wrap it up?
Lovely. Well,
Cool.
been a pleasure, boys.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable like that.
Been a bit weird.
Been
If you want me
interesting.
back, you can have me back. All right.
Maybe next time, we've been in the showroom, maybe we need to hit the road. And maybe,
Hit the road.
Should we take these boys out in a car?
and then maybe, because
Maybe.
like I say, you've been out in a lot of supercars.
Yeah.
I'm still quite a supercar virgin at the moment.
Maybe.
I think we
Maybe. Would you like to see? I've forgotten your name.
Reece.
Reece get his first experience
In a supercar.
in a proper supercar.
I think we should.
I think that would be quite an experience. And then maybe I might have to keep my mouth shut on some of the cars that I've spat mouth.
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could change your opinion.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Maybe I actually
What
might
is-
transfer to a Lamborghini
what
boy,
is-
then a
yeah.
Porsche boy, and that.
So if you could go out in any car, what are you taking? As in, like, what are you going passenger riding?
Do you know what?
With someone who's an experienced driver around here, so you haven't got to drive. You can just relax, enjoy the
Are
experience.
you
Take it
experienced? So you were saying you're going to take him out?
I've passed my test.
You will wrap it into. You will wrap it around a tree.
Hopefully not.
You'll be as bad as him go kart.
That's why you get insurance and gap insurance with your purchase from VVS.
So you never-
Always a plug, isn't there?
Oh, there's always a plug somewhere.
Always a
There's
plug.
got to be a benefit for me to sitting on your podcast.
I guess so.
Put the number at the bottom. Be here somewhere.
But no, what are you going at him?
It's going to be 458 to start with.
458.
I think you'd be lucky because that's got delivery mileage on it. So unfortunately,
Probably won't be that one.
probably
But
not that one.
Right,
it-
give him some options. What's he going at him? Potentially. Performante? Performante
No.
is like such a good car like, all round.
No, that's on consignment. Needs to be something we own, basically.
yeah,
The blue SVJ.
The blue SVJ.
The blue SVJ.
The blue
That's
SVJ.
quite-
That is,
there
I would
is-
like to go
that's
out.
quite.
I mean, it's not my decision. We'll have to speak to the boss, but I'm sure we can arrange something.
It's just sort of like
Sure,
theoretical
we
at the
can make
minute, but
something
like I say, if whatever was potentially, if you could go out in a
So
car,
put ideas in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't podcast in this.
go on
Good
VVS website, which is in the link description below. Have a look at the stock and tell us what you think
What should be
this
my
absolute
first
pleb should be going out in.
supercar rise, and it will be. The most sportiest car that I've ever been out in is probably a Lotus Exige.
Oh, we can change that.
Oh my god.
I'm sure we can change that.
Yeah.
Well, you might see my face again. Sorry about that.
I would probably say so because nobody else is going to be bothered
Good
to-
enough.
Good enough, that can place yours.
That's the word, yeah. Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I know it's been a bit longer than what we initially planned, and it's all over the place as per usual, but I think that's
Might want to
good.
do some editing, chop it up a bit, but
No, just leave that as is.
okay, we'll come back to that.
Let's put.
Brilliant. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Links to the Instagrams are both below, VVS as well. Please be sure to give us a thumbs up and let us know your feedback in the comments below. And we'll see you guys all very soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Ciao.
Credits.
Bosh. There we go.
Lovely bits for
Use the chairs, but
Okay.
I'm having a lunch.